Hey, what's up, guys? So today I'm going to be doing things a bit differently. This is going to be more of a podcast format. There will be cuts in here, edits, just because I take a lot of breaks in between. Like I have this little whiteboard that I look down at. So there are going to be edits. There's going to be cutaways, but I'm going to try and just talk for long periods of time. And the reason I'm making this podcast one is because there's a lot of stuff that's been going on that's sort of made me realize, hey, you don't have tomorrow guaranteed. It's not just COVID. It's like, friends passing away, parents of friends, pets of friends. It's all these things that make you realize, okay, mortality is real. And so if I were to vanish one day, just randomly, this is something that I'd want to put up and have as a reference piece to me. Yes, I have a bunch of other videos, but who's going to watch, 20 videos on me? So I want to have this here. If I vanish, if, knock on wood, I'm not going to go through all these scenarios because I don't want to speak these things up. But usually when things like that happen, when a death is sudden, I feel like it is reliant on the other people around to piece together a version of this person. I don't feel that everybody knows everything about somebody. So, if somebody were to suddenly pass away, disappear, it's sort of like, oh, they didn't really get to say their piece. And friends will have this idea because they knew a version of somebody. Family will have a version that they knew. And everybody kind of pieces together when, I don't know if that's accurate as it holds to the person themselves, because I feel like everybody is something different to everybody. Does that make sense? So this is just me basically getting a say in what they're going to talk about, if I'm gone, when I'm gone. And the first thing is I just want people to be happy, guys. I want everybody to get whatever version of their dream is. I want people to have that, as long as they are not blatantly causing pain to people, being evil to people. That to me has a different place. I just want people to have what they want. Like if you want to go sail around the world on a boat, I want you to be able to do that. If you want to just chill all day long and smoke and watch Netflix, I want you to be able to do that. Like for me, the dream looks like, financially independent. I am taking classes, right? I have an acting class that I love, which I will talk more about later. I would be taking MMA. I would be working on my 3-point shot. I would be hitting the gym. I would be eating really healthy. Well, kind of healthy. All these things that I do some form of now, I would be doing, except that I would be getting to just live and be with my friends and enjoy this time. And I think that's something that everybody would get to have in my utopia. Like I said, time with friends is really important to me. I have a lot of different groups of friends that all mean something to me. I have my high school friends, which I'm about to go on a trip with, and I know it's going to be fun. Like we're gonna have fun. We're gonna be kids. That's usually the MO of what happens when we're all together in one place. It's grown ass people being kids, and I love it, and I'm just grateful to have that, because I know not everybody has that. The group of about maybe 10 of us, give or take, depending on who's in at the time. People have their own things, like a family and their work. So some people will drift. Like I've drifted away, and every time I come back after seeing them for years, it feels like I was never gone. At least to me. And then I have my friends from all the places I've worked, all my work friends who are amazing. I've been really lucky to work with 90% cool people and only 10% assholes. And I know that's not always the case with everybody, but some of those friendships I still have, and I still see some of the friends that I worked with 10 years ago. I still see them today. So I'm really grateful for that. And it's always like, if you work in the jobs that I've worked, in service industry, restaurants, retail, you tend to build a relationship with these people because it's like being in a fight and they're on your team. You build a camaraderie. You have drinks after work. So these things help strengthen maybe above over a normal 9 to 5 job where you may not always hang out with people, and so I really cherish those times and those people. And then lastly, there's a group that means so much to me. That's my acting friends in LA, Young Actor Space. You guys know who you are. That group of people and that school changed my life. They helped me grow into an adult. As somebody who came there, who was unable to have conversations even with like a stranger, I could talk to my friends, but in terms of going up to a stranger, generating conversation, having something to talk about, I couldn't do that. I couldn't even look people in the eye. So for me, that class and those friends, again, it's having parties and having drinks at a bar, going on trips with friends like that. You build this extra bond. And because they're also actors, right? I'm an actor, not famous, but that's what I do. And it's different being able to talk to people when they have that knowledge that very few people have. I'm sure a lot of you guys, whatever field you're in, you can talk to people in another language because you have this specific knowledge that not everybody has. And so with actors, any artist really, it applies to musicians, comedians, etc. There is this sort of language or these games that we play, unspoken games, that really it's hard to play with other people because they haven't gone through what you've gone through and they haven't had the training, whether it be like improv training or just the understanding that you are doing a bit most of the time. I know it sounds like kind of weird. People might think it's fake, but it's actually like it's an understood thing amongst a lot of people in entertainment, in the arts. As far as things like news and politics go, I don't really pay attention to them. You can think what you want about that. It's not because I don't want to be informed. It's because I want to be informed about the things I actually pay attention to. And me personally, I have a limited bandwidth that it's already, a lot of it is taken up. Now, I don't see the responsibility factor. Like I know some people will say, oh, you have a social responsibility to pay attention to these things. I just don't see it that way. To me, a lot of news is biased. Just look at the fact that you can see two different things on Fox News or on CNBC. You could see two different spins on the same story. So I don't really look at it as absolute fact. Their job is to keep eyes on them, because if they don't keep eyes on them and keep viewership up, advertisers will fall out. So that's the way I look at it. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think they're lying on purpose, but I just think that they have a duty to their big company to make money first, and they're gonna, given the choice, they're gonna run the story that gets them that money. If I had to say anything, I would say I'm neutral, right? There are things that I believe that right wing believes, and then there are things that I believe that left wing believes. But mostly, I don't believe solidly in anything. There are a couple things. I believe in UBI, universal basic income, and not because I don't want people to work. I don't believe in communism. That's not the thing. What I believe in is this. Earlier, I talked about what my dream life for people was. The easiest way to enable a dream life is to have money coming in for free. And if you ask, where's the money going to come from? Here's what it is. We need full-scale automation. That's the only way. And when I say full-scale, I mean full-scale, not a single job that a human has to do. If we can get there, then we can restructure the system as it is. Because why would we need money? Why would we need a debt system if all the work being done is being done by robots? I'm not talking about like sentient androids like in Detroit Become Human, or in the movie Ex Machina. Not talking about that, because then you have ethical issues. If they think like humans, then you have to basically treat them like humans. I'm talking about just machines that can do tasks, right? Now, if things don't get to that place, then yeah, I think UBI would be great, because I don't know if you can enable a world with everybody doing what they want to do without it. Now again, where's the money going to come from? I don't know that. That's why I say full-scale automation, because in my mind, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, if you have all the jobs being done by AI, by androids, you don't need to give people a reason to do things. Right now, somebody has to mine the resources, oil, precious metals, all of that. And why would you do that for free? You can say that people are going to do it out of the goodness of their heart because they know it helps the world at a bigger scale, but I don't know if that's true. I think that they would do it if everybody was doing it, but if they're the only ones, I don't know how long they're going to do that for free. You remove that element where you need to pay the laborer, then you need to pay the supply chain owner, the business that gets the diamonds, gets the oil, and then you have to pay somebody who gets that resource from point A to point B. There's this whole chain that requires people running it. Once you remove the people, there won't be a reason for anyone to need to get paid to do something, because then everybody will just do what they want to do, right? AI will take care of the rest. Here's an example. Say I want to innovate. I want to create a new car company. Right now, it's kind of hard. I need to have a concept. I need to draw up blueprints. I don't know how to do that. But if I can have an AI do it for me, and then I can say, hey, too aggressive, maybe change these lines, something like that. I don't even know architectural language. But if an AI can hear what I say, do what I want, again, don't need to hire an engineer, don't need to hire an architect to do these kind of things. So you can see how that applies to every other reason, every other way, business, dream that you might have. And so anybody who's worried that this would sort of stifle innovation, people won't create, they'll just sit on their ass all day. Yeah, there will be some people who will. But there will also be people who are right now, may have a vision, may have a dream, unable to make that come to life because of lack of resources and resourcefulness. Yes, that is a thing. But this way people won't have to be resourceful. They can just say, boom, I want this done this way, make it happen. Right now, not the case for everybody. Some people can, Elon can, Bezos probably can, definitely can. These guys can, but it doesn't apply to every single human on Earth. In general, I don't believe in isms like that, where you have to be locked to a certain set of ideas and characteristics, like because you are in this party, you have to think like this. I just was never really into that. That's why, hey, I'm not a Democrat or a Republican or anything. I just am. I was always somebody who, whenever they said, hey, like one example was like, hey, you're Asian, you should use chopsticks. And I'm like, you can fuck off with that, because why? I don't buy into that culture thing. If there's a non-binary form of race identification, that's probably me. Like, I understand biologically what I am. I understand as an actor for casting what I look like, but in terms of having a set of traits that I have to follow, just because I have a certain type of blood, I don't buy into that. Same goes with gender, right? If you're quote unquote male or female, there are so many pronouns now. I don't know what it is, so that's what I'm going to say for now. Again, not trying to disrespect anybody's chosen pronoun. This is just because I'm not aware of how many there are. But And to me, there's no reason to conform to, hey, because you're a man, you have to do these things. Because you're a woman, you have to do these things. I think we can all agree that that's kind of, it's not necessary to have these ideas in our culture. And the last thing I'm going to go over today is a few things I wish they taught in schools and what I think they should teach in schools right now if they're not already. Number one, absolute number one, is finance. Why don't they teach us how to use the stock market? Why don't they teach us about Roth IRAs and 401ks? These things that enable us to be financially free or independent, at least sooner, at a younger age. In high school, they weren't teaching us about that. They were teaching us, get to college, get a job. And that's fine for some people, but for me, when I hear that, I think of get into college so that you can, if you weren't lucky, like I was, I got my college paid for. But if you weren't, then you have all this debt coming out of college because you didn't know what you were signing up for when you got that student loan. And then, so now you're trapped in a job, and if you can even get the job. So, I don't know if I buy into what they're selling in the public school system. Other than finance, I think they should be teaching like health, not just physical health, mental health, spiritual health. They should be teaching you how to exist in the best state for you, whatever that is. There's no one, right? For me, that is being able to go to the gym, being able to put clean-ish foods into my body. For somebody else, it might be not having to go to the gym. Some people hate the gym, and you can argue for the internal health benefits of that. But if you hate something that much, I'm a believer that stress and feeling trapped in situations makes your life worse. So if you feel trapped in the gym, if you feel like you're being forced to run, I think you're going to hate it for a long time. Maybe you'll come around, but I think you're going to hate it for a long time, especially if you don't care about getting the result that the gym brings. So that's another area that I think should be focused on in schools, taught as young as people could comprehend that idea. All right, that's pretty much it. My brain hurts, so I'm going to stop. There are hopefully many more podcasts like this to come with other people. That's something that I think would be cool, would be to have interview-style podcasts. It's gotten easier with Zoom. So hopefully you'll see something like that from me in the future. And also, hopefully the reason you're here is not because I have disappeared or, knock on wood, died in a freak accident. I hope that's not why my friends found this and are watching this right now. But if it is, know that I love you. I'm watching from possibly down below, if there is a heaven and hell, and keep living your life. Thank you for watching. I'm Brad. This is Bradcast, my channel. See you next time.